Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Alexander Howell, and today we're going to be talking about a couple of different things, but basically it's where marketing is trending, where it's looking to go to in the future based on where we are at present. Now, it's a little bit of a different video because, again, I don't want to just put something in your head, you spend money on it to brand and advertise your business, and then it flops. But there are some trends that are very interesting that I think open up a lot of opportunities. I wanted to discuss those today. Also to discuss, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and hit the little notification bell to let you know whenever one of these videos drop. Again, hope you like it. Enjoy. When we really take a look at the social media trends that we've seen coming up in the last couple of years, video and storytelling really seems to be kind of the number one thought. And when you think about TikTok and its relevance now, how many people have downloaded, I mean, it's 500 million people, I think, or more at this point, on top of the active users. And these are just 15-second clips of people dancing or telling a story, or just kind of showing their experience. But when you see that on Facebook and WhatsApp and TikTok, and you realize that video has become the number one way that we consume our data, it's not really that big of a surprise. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the entire world, second only to Google. Alphabet Group owns both, so good for them. But YouTube is where we go to consume video in more of a long form format, as opposed to these other apps where it might be 5 to 15 seconds of you explaining something. Instagram has started going this way too, with Instagram TV and other options like that. So when you think about marketing, not just yourself, but your business, when you're really trying to dig down and brand yourself accordingly, you absolutely need to make sure that the biggest chunk of your time isn't going to yesterday's type of media. You need to really try to make a concerted effort to get into video, because it's going to be the way of the future. I mean, it's the way of the present already. 2020 is going to mark a lot of things not changing necessarily, but growing in popularity. The number one thing I've always seen with people in video is they're afraid to get in front of the camera. They don't feel like they look comfortable. They want to drop a few pounds. Their voice sounds weird when it's recorded. The fact of the matter is, if I'm being completely honest with you, you absolutely have got to get over that feeling. I mean, I sit here and I stare into a camera all day long recording YouTube videos and editing it. I have to listen to my voice on the podcast constantly. All of those things are a little weird to deal with, but at the same time, I got over that a long time ago, because if I'm going to market myself effectively for the future, I've got to start being comfortable with that now. And the fact is, the faster you jump on that train, the easier it's going to be for you. So get the selfie camera on your phone to start taking pictures of yourself, start taking video of yourself, upload that, and just tell people their experiences. One thing we lose in this age of 24/7 news and stories popping out at you every 5 seconds is our own humanity, and we start seeing things the way that traditional media outlets probably want us to see. If you're able to show your audience, if you're able to show your clients, whether they be past clients, current clients, or future clients, exactly who they're going to be dealing with, it's not going to feel as odd as it does now. They're going to feel like they get to know you. I mean, just talk to individuals who are, like Joe Rogan or a few others. They have constant comments about the fact that people kind of come up to them in a little bit of a weird way and just start a conversation. They've never met them before in their life, and the reason is they've listened to thousands or tens of thousands of hours of content, videos, and they feel, because of all that, like they know the person. That makes them comfortable, and that gets your popularity up. That really starts to get your brand out there. So if you haven't already, make sure that you invest in video, and if you need to, just look up again on YouTube what type of setups it takes. Normally, for mine, I use the Elgato Camlink 4K. I just plug my Vixia RF700 as the camcorder that I use to record these videos. It has an HDMI out. I plug that, have a just regular HDMI cable, and then one that plugs into this one. It's 2 or 3 parts, 4 parts. I have a mic that plugs directly in, and all of a sudden I'm up and running. Now, there are studio lights and things like that that allow me to maybe look a little bit better on camera. But when I started out, go back and look at my first videos. I didn't have anything like that. I was in my basement. So when you invest in video, you're going to find a significant return. And you really need to start doing it now, because it's one of the most important things you're going to be dealing with going forward. Now, augmented reality is another thing that's going to become vastly more popular in the coming years. And I think that it's the opportunities are fairly obvious when you think about the fact that, so with just a camera or with video, whatever it may be, that you can place other objects in a room that aren't technically there but that you can interact with. The marketing kind of does things for itself. I mean, you look at viral trends on Instagram, on TikTok, on all of these different apps where a short video will play and somebody's wearing a mask to talk to their kids. My Facebook portal at home, when my parents decide that they want to read a story to my kids, they can actually be in the story as my parents reading it, and it'll have, a wolf's head for Little Red Riding Hood or something like that, but you're actually able to place yourself within the story. When you think about other marketing efforts, this could be absolutely amazing. When somebody walks into your shop, if you want them to post on social media, what better way than to only have that augmented reality work within their store? So there's tons of possibilities. It's not something that is as highly developed at this point, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. And there are companies out there that are starting to work with larger brands and smaller as well that can help to create a marketing plan, a branding plan around AR and its rise to the top. So as video gets better, other things like augmented reality are going to come into play. They're going to become vastly popular as well. And if you've ever used a VR headset, you probably know just how immersive those experiences can be. So if you're able to take yourself in an office, not in the middle of anywhere, not really anywhere, and you're just able to sit there. Man, that was a messed up sentence. But if you're able to sit there, I'm currently filming this in Raymore, Missouri. It's a suburb of Kansas City. But if I'm able to put on a VR headset and all of a sudden I'm standing in the streets of New York or LA or, the South Pole in Antarctica, if I'm able to do any of that, then virtual reality can be, one, incredible. But two, if you think about the fact that you walk into a store and you're able to see other objects within the store utilizing augmented reality, which makes it a fun user experience or fun customer experience, you can see where people might come back for that, or people might be drawn to it because it's just something fun to do. So augmented reality, again, is one of those things that it's not hugely popular at the moment, but going forward, you're going to see this really start to ramp up as we start finding out different ways for it to be a part of our lives. This last one's going to be a little bit difficult to really define because it's all about ubiquitous branded content that needs to be a part of your brand, that displays your message and your image, but at the same time can go over multiple different platforms. And you're really starting to see this because we are starting to break away from traditional media. I mean, even when you think about, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, ESPN, some of those major networks that still have, commercials and sponsors and things like that, they're not having as much effect right now. And you can see that in several things. One, there's a lot of picture-in-picture or side-by-side advertising, and I noticed this a lot this year when I was watching the Chiefs play on television. You would see a camera pull away into the screen, still showing what was going on in the game real time, but then an ad would play during it. So you weren't completely pulled away to allow yourself to go, get a drink or something necessarily. You were still being pulled by the actual action of the game going on, but normally it was just between plays or something like that where they could get in a 30-second advertisement. Now, why is this important? Well, the game is still going on. And if I've recorded something especially, and I go back, what am I doing? I'm going to skip every single commercial that I can. Dish Network actually has something where, depending on when the product was or when the program was recorded, you can just set it to completely skip commercials. I don't know how to get away with that. It seems a little odd to me, but the fact of the matter is, it is an option for you to just watch your program and not have to sit there and watch commercials. So when you have branded content, you need to make sure that when you're trying to advertise and you're trying to get in and sneak in and make sure that people are actually paying attention to your ads and not just trying to, skip ahead like they do on YouTube videos, hintity hint. But when you see stuff like that, you need to recognize that your content needs to be absolutely engaging, or else it's just one more thing that's a distraction from what the person is there to see. So augmented reality can help this, video can help this, and just thinking of a new branding strategy and new ways to go about it are incredibly important. And knowing that your brand can be seen across all platforms and there's a connection there is very important. Now, the masters of this are brands like McDonald's, Coca-Cola, other large companies, because you see their symbol, you know what it is. That's what you're trying to get to. So if they see that something is sponsored by McDonald's, that means that you are there. If they see that a commercial in the Super Bowl is McDonald's. They know it's there, but all they have to see is the golden arches, and they are very well aware. Make sure that your brand is playing to that, because you are going to have a brand strategy normally that is everywhere. You want to be on as many platforms as you possibly can, but make sure that your brand has solid recognition, a good symbol, spend good money on a logo if you need to make sure that anytime that pops up, they know that it's you. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Always feel free to follow me on social media at Alexander from KC. You know, my text line is 816-529-2195, and my email is alexander@alexanderhowell.com. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below, and hit that little notification bell just so you know whenever any of these videos drop. Again, thanks again, and if I could say again one more time, I think we're going to be fine.